What's up, Internet? You're tuned into episode 100 of the FlipScreen Games Podcast, a weekly video game podcast where two best buds from across the pond get together to discuss the wide world of video games. I'm your host, Pete and Bessie, joined as always for at least the 100th time, Mr. Steven Radford.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Steve. Welcome. What a milestone. Here we are, 100 episodes. How's it feel, buddy?
And I cannot believe it. You know, it's been almost 2 years since FlipScreen became a thing and we released it. I think it's over 2 years now since we announced it, because I remember being on holiday. It might be pretty much bang on 2 years since we announced it.
Is that right? I feel like it was in August, wasn't it? Isn't our birthday like
It
halfway
was like,
through?
yeah, the birthday's in August, but we announced it when I was on holiday. We put the website up. We were like, we're gonna go out and we'll be there in 2 weeks' time, kind of thing.
Oh, did we do it 2 weeks early? I thought it was the week before. And that
Might be the week before.
I think that is what happened, and the reason you remember it that way is because I remember we recorded everything, we announced it, and then we put that stuff out the week you were away, I think is what happened.
Okay.
I think that's how it all lines up, somewhere like that. But yeah, man, it's nuts.
Crazy times. Yeah.
It doesn't feel that long to me.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of flown by, but in that time period, you know, we've seen a lot. We've launched another new podcast. We've
That
we've
one's
done
almost
all
a year
sorts of
old.
stuff, right?
That's about
I
to have
know,
its
that's
first birthday.
insane to me as well. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. And just like seeing the number of people in the community that have followed us for years and listened to 100 episodes of the show and have joined and participated in all sorts of things, like active in the Discord, hopping onto Twitch streams, asking us questions every single week. There's no way we could have done 100 episodes without our community, I don't think.
No, I think it would have gotten pretty tough. Well, we probably could have, but I don't know if they would have been nearly as interesting. That's for darn
Yeah.
sure.
Plus, it would have been like talking to an empty room, which would have just been no fun at all.
No,
Yeah.
and
We've seen two massive Xbox acquisitions, one of which maybe hasn't happened yet in that time period, right?
It's gonna happen, right? Come on, we're so close now, buddy.
This deadline day today is the time we're recording, if it's ever going to go through.
I found out, by the way, it's August 9th. That's our official birthday.
So it must have been a week prior when I was away then. So that'll be next week will be 2 years officially since we announced FlipScreen Games.
Yeah, since we broke it out.
Yeah. And like we spent ages prior to that deliberating and laboring over the logo and the website and the podcast names
and the name
and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Well, we get into some of the name stuff later in this episode, right? That was one of the questions on Jeopardy.
Yeah, so if you want to hear more about that stuff, if you're like a newer listener, on our 1 year anniversary, so episode 52, I guess we did do like a year in retrospect and kind of looked back on some of the names that almost were and all that stuff. But for today's episode 100, we're doing something else pretty special. Steve and I are going to wax poetic for a couple more minutes here, but after that, we're going to get into a game of FlipScreen Games Jeopardy. So if you are not a member of our Discord, you may not have heard about this, but the long and short of it is that we got, Patreon producer Mr. Zaid Ida to collect a number of questions from you, the community, and then went and sourced a bunch of questions himself from going and listening to very old episodes of the podcast to come up with a nice little game of Jeopardy for me and Steve to go head to head. And it was a blast. I think if you're a longtime listener, it'll be a fun walk down memory lane. And if you're a newer listener, it is always fun to watch Steve and I, compete, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Well, let's not do any spoilers. No one knows how it goes. Yeah.
I'm just saying in general. Everybody knows I'm the award winner right here. Right?
I mean, that's fair. It is fair. I've not won any of those. I'm sure I won one at Loot Pots once.
You're sure? You sure you did?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I'll back and listen to old episodes of the podcast to find that out. But that's a long time ago.
That's the next one. The next Jeopardy. We got to remember our even older.
That's like almost 5 years ago at this point. Like, it's insane to me.
That feels fake.
I know, I know. It does not seem real. But, you know, it was a year after the Switch came out, so it must be
Yeah.
5 years.
Right, and I mean, I think about it, and when you and I met, Sarah and I had just started dating this time around.
Mm.
So, like,
Mm.
it's very, like, this era of my life kind of began at the same time, it feels like. But yeah, it doesn't
It's
it's
weird.
weird,
That's
right? Because it's
crazy.
like I can think of it, "Oh, yeah, I've been with Sarah for 5 years," but I don't think of us as being together for 5 years, but here we are, Steve.
Yeah, like we've just been chatting about video games and other things. Was originally Nintendo, but then we couldn't stop talking about. I think initially it was you and Pixel who just could not stop talking about the Spider-Man game, and then that just opened the floodgates to anything else. And then like the new consoles came out, and we were just like, okay, look, we need somewhere to actually talk about this. That's not a Nintendo centric podcast, which is why this podcast, the FlipScreen Games podcast, exists.
Yeah, it's funny to think that you and I were like, "You know what? Talking for an hour plus a week and streaming, it's just not enough. We need more. We need even more." And then we added yet another show.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but you know, I'm really happy we did because we've got new people in the community. It feels like there are people that only listen to Nintendo Noise. There are people that only listen to the Steam Deck podcast, and there are people that only listen to the Flip Screen Games podcast. It's nice. It's nice that we
There's
can
a
kind
ton
of
of people that listen to all of them, which is
yeah, there are a ton of
exceptional.
people that listen to all of them as well, and I genuinely don't know how because I can't imagine listening to myself speak for 3 hours, but I guess that's
It's
because it's
not you,
myself.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. You listen to other people talk that much, you listen to podcasts.
Yeah,
We're
that's
good,
very true,
Steve.
I
I
do,
wouldn't
yeah.
listen to us myself because 'cause I'm on the show, but we're good, you know? You listen back to one of these shows, you're like, "Yeah, we know what we're talking about. It's pretty good."
Yeah, I have listened to some of the ones where I've not been on before, which is always fun. It's always nice to be able to actually listen to the show, and then I'm annoyed because I wanna participate in
That's
the
what always happens
conversation,
to me.
and I'm just like, "No, Pete, you're wrong," and I really just wanna interrupt and tell you that you're wrong,
I'm,
but
like,
I can't.
screaming. I'm, like, sitting here listening, and I'm like, "Shut up, Max. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah, Max really likes to shit talk you when you're not on the show, it's
That's
great.
because he's a fucking coward, Steve. I'll say it to his cowardly face that he's a loser and he can't beat me in these predictions. He waits until I'm gone to get his jabs in because he knows that his arms are not long enough to box with God. All right? Like, he's
Yeah, you
gotta
need
pick it up.
those, like, Min arms from Apple
Exactly. He
Arms, you
needs
know?
Steve. So over on Nintendo Noise, right? We did our top 100 Nintendo games of all time
That
this
was
week.
the oh my god, that was a long episode.
3 plus hours. It is a lot. You're gonna wanna listen to this one in chunks, gang. But it's worth it. It's worth it. I made a nice slideshow. We go through literally all 100 games and talk about them. Nobody knew the rankings except well, Steve knew a couple of them, going into it. So, like, it's really fun. It's a great episode. It's the most produced thing I think we've ever done, on a podcast. And wouldn't you know, as soon as we were done, I was like, "Oh, no, I didn't put arms on my list." I didn't put arms
Yeah,
on
I
my
thought
list.
Arms would have been on your list.
I
I was
cou
surprised it wasn't, but
I
then I thought maybe
forgot.
Pete did, but it was, like, number 100, so it didn't make the list or something.
I f I forgot Fire Emblem Engage, which, like, I would have ranked, but, like, it's like, whatever, right? Like, it's not
You
my
had the other
favorite
Fire
Fire Emblem.
Emblem,
I got
yeah,
3 houses on the
yeah.
list. It was fine. But ARMS, I was like, I'm one of the few ARMS defenders out here, and I forgot it. The disrespect I put on a game that I
It's
love.
Arms, like, who cares?
Such a shame. I care. Come on. Oh, man. I messed up. I
Oh,
messed up,
dear.
gang. But I will say, otherwise, fantastic list, fantastic episode. You're gonna want to go check that one out. Here's the thing I'm realizing, Steve. We got to figure out what we're doing for the Steam Deck shows, Steam Deck podcasts 1 year anniversary. That's coming up hot and fast.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone has any ideas, then please let us know. I'm sure we'll find something to do otherwise. Like, there's always a fun game to do.
Yeah, we'll do a little something, little
Yeah.
something, something. So here's my question to you, Steve. Before we throw it to past us to play a little Jeopardy
Mm.
with the kids. 100 episodes, 2 years, Flip Screen Games. Give me give me give me some highlights. What's one of your favorite memories of your time here so far?
I
And
always
and and one more two-parter. Give me one hope you got for next year.
Okay, so some of my favorite episodes are the one where I say how much I hate Elden Ring, and then the following week I talk about how much I love Elden Ring and how wonderful it is.
That might be the best, like, two-part like, sequel, you know? What a
It
one-two
was just
punch.
literally like me going, I don't get it. I don't get why people like these games. And then the next week, I'm gushing about how much I love it.
It
It
wasn't
became
wasn't
my
the
game
thumbnail
of
like,
the
"We
year
were
that year.
wrong about Elden Ring,"
Yeah,
right?
it
Like,
was. Yeah. Yeah. And there was another we were wrong. It was like Pete was wrong about PlayStation on PC because you were like sure that their strategy wasn't going to be putting games on
yeah, yeah.
PC, and it clearly
That
is
was
putting games on
so
PC.
funny. That was so funny, and that was another one I remember the thumbnail and being like, "Oh, yeah, like, let's, like, let's have me, like, crying or something," you know? Like
Yeah, it was a good thumbnail. No, I like those ones. But I also really like doing the game of the year episodes, the predictions, checking in on the predictions is always fun. And I really like the holiday gift guide we did. I think that was a really good episode. We had other people on. I think Chewy was on that one. And it was a really good episode. Everyone was able to write in and contribute from the community, which was really cool. But I think just in general, the fact that we can do this every single week, I've got a place to talk with a friend about video games every single week, and people can write in and ask questions. I never ever thought, we would be still be doing this 5 years after we started, but I'm glad we are. And next year, what do I want for next year?
You can think about it for a second if you want, and I can do mine.
I think I want to win the predictions. I think that's what my hope for next year is.
I
Like,
love that
finally
as a
fucking
goal!
win the predictions. I think that's my goal for
Oh,
next year.
I love that, I love that. Yeah, that's great, that's a great one. Because of course, we got 10 more,
I
entries
know.
on this, so we gotta do
Yeah.
this for at least 10 more years, Steve. We gotta hit
I'm
at
sure we
least
can do that.
15 years.
Yeah. Sure we could do that. We'll see the PS6 come in.
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll be around for at least that long.
Mhm.
Yeah, picking a favorite is tough, right? But I think like you, there are a couple like broad memories, right, that like always really stick out to me. I think in the last year, right, like launching the Steam Deck podcast is definitely a big highlight. Like that's been so much fun to like be a part of a new hardware launch again, right? And like being able to be part of this kind of small community and being like one of the voices in it, is something that I think has been really fun, and it's brought a lot of new blood into the community and a lot of people that stumble upon us for the first time because of the Steam Deck podcast, and then like get involved in the other shows and have like really helped the community grow. Like that's been really cool. That's been a really rewarding process. Um, and then, yeah, I mean, the predictions and some of the other, like, higher concept episodes like that are always some of my favorites. I think next year I'll look back on the episode 100 we did for Nintendo Noise for sure as one of those, like, bigger endeavors. Like, it's always fun when you and I get to like dig in and do something that goes a little deeper or a little harder, right? Because like I love getting to just come on and just like chat shit with you every week, and like that's what the show's founded on. But when we do get to like have some of those like deeper episodes where maybe like like when we have Chris on, or like where we have like a really really meaty news topic that we're gonna go into for like 2 hours, like we've been doing with the Xbox stuff, like I hope the listeners have been enjoying the coverage of that stuff as much as I've enjoyed reporting on
Oh
it,
man, yeah,
'cause
the Xbox one's really fun. I mean, we've managed to get a lot of episodes out of that. But one of the other big news stories from this last year was the GTA 6 leak. I remember that one
yeah,
being like a
yeah.
really like, wow, okay, this thing's actually real. Like, how did this happen? That was really fun to kind of try and uncover.
I think the other big one for me that I wanna just call out is, like, the coverage we had this year of, Tears of the Kingdom as well was, like, a really, really fun and special time, Like, I think it's the first time in a long time that, like, everybody in our community was playing the same game and was really, really jazzed to talk about it and have a reason to talk about it. And that's been really fun, because as much as I have just enjoyed Tears of the Kingdom as a game and as an experience, I think so much of the fun of that and Breath of the Wild is that like the water cooler moments of like, have you been here? Have you done this? Like, what's your favorite
Mhm.
fusion? Like all that has been so much fun. And it was really cool to see everybody in the community just get so excited to share that game together and to hear everybody's stories and, all that stuff.
Yeah, that felt like a real moment in the same way that that Animal Crossing did when we were doing the streams back during the pandemic. I mean, that was really fun, but that was pre FlipScreen, right? That was 2020. We launched
Yeah.
FlipScreen in 2021, so it was yeah, it's been fun. It's been great, and I'm looking forward to at least 100 more of these. At least 100 more.
So, yeah, and I think for me for next year, my hope would be it's a couple things. I guess it's multifaceted, but the big one is to just keep like growing and improving what we're doing, because at this point, like I'm really satisfied with what we do. I think the shows we make are very, very good.
Mhm.
I think they're worth listening to every week. And, I just want to get it in front of more people and, be able to have more opportunities to get cooler guests and get, more advanced review copies and kind of like just get us to that next level so that we can make better stuff for you, the listener, and that like when you do want to hear our thoughts about something like, you know, like the big releases of the year, right? It would be so helpful for us to be able to get to a place where we can get a review copy early so that we can space out our coverage, so that we can plan a little bit better, right? Like, so we're not getting a game at release day and then trying to play it for 10, 20 hours before we record so that we have something to say, right? Like, I think those are the things that like I look at as kind of the next mountain I want to climb is just like how do we keep improving what we're doing? Because I think the last year we had so much growth and so much, and not just growth in terms of like numbers and that kind of stuff. I mean, like we as a community have grown, right? A lot more conversation is happening there. Like we have more interaction than we had before. And I think you and I have gotten better as hosts and as podcasters and everything. So it's like I'm just excited to see us keep doing our thing and continue to make cool stuff for cool people.
Yeah, agreed. It's been fun, and I'm sure we'll continue to do more competitions, more fighting with each other over silly little topics, and games of Jeopardy that I had never played before. I'd never even watched an episode of this game, and here I am participating in the game show. So
To be fair, it's very hard. I don't think me having seen it gave me much of an advantage.
no, yeah, I don't think it did either. Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's get to the main event here, right? So of course I'm gonna throw to us in the past, Mr. Zaid Ito, one of our Patreon producers, hosting the episode 100 Jeopardy special here on FlipScreen Games podcast. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you again for being with us and for just being one of the community. We really appreciate you and we love you and thank you for 100 episodes and here's to 100 more. But before we do that, Steve, let me remind you that this episode of the Flip Screen Games podcast is brought to you by our Patreon producers for the month of July. They are, of course, Arnold J. Rimmer, Christopher Valens, Earth Visitor, Gabriel Hasselmeyer, aka Sobi Snackigo, Ty the Dude, and Waka Hula. Thank you all so much for your support on patreon.com/flipscreengames. Y'all are the realest of the real, and we greatly appreciate your support of this and all of our sister shows, especially those of you who have been Patreon producers for all 100
I know,
episodes,
I cannot believe
of
it.
which
It's
there are
insane.
several of you.
Yeah,
Y'all,
thank
thank
you.
you for throwing us up on your shoulders. You guys have been day one ride or dies, and we do it for you. And thank you. We love you. So let's go play some Jeopardy. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Pete. What's up, Internet? Welcome to the 100th episode Flip Screen Games Jeopardy special. I'm your host, Zaid Snackigo Ida, joined as always by my two very good friends and co-hosts, Mr. Stephen Radford.
Hello, hello. I get to go first. This is so unusual for me. Usually, Pete's there. He's already said his name.
And the lean, mean touring machine, Mr. Pete Mbessi.
That's right, saving the best for last, baby. The Mbessi Trophy champion holder, ready to come and perform in yet another competition for you sorry lot and bring in a little bit of joy to your bleak lives by
it doesn't matter.
destroying Steve in yet
Does not
another
matter.
competition.
It's completely. It's a different contest. We've established we're getting medals for
You're
this
right.
one, Pete. You remember this
You're
is
right,
the
but you
Jeopardy
know what,
medal
Steve?
that we're
You know what,
going
Steve?
for.
If you weren't British, if you knew anything about American pro wrestling, you'd know that when you're a champion, you're always a champion. Just because I might be in the tag team, but if
It's
I'm
like,
the world
it's like you're
heavyweight,
always a
Steve,
Mr. President.
I'm the
Got
world
it.
heavyweight. So I am the heavyweight, and I'm ready to come to this new competition and clean up. So let's do it, Steve.
See, so that is a problem. The fact that I'm not American, because I have never seen an episode of Jeopardy in my life, apart from the episode on Groundhog Day, where he's rewatched it a million times.
I gotta be
That's
honest
the only
with you.
time I've ever seen Jeopardy on TV.
I don't think me having seen Jeopardy is going to give me any advantage in this competition. So
I'm hosting the show, and I have never watched the show. I've played it like in school, but I have never actually watched the show. So we're all this is a new experience for all of us.
Yeah,
It's new for all
fill
of
me
us.
in on what's the situation with it.
Sure.
We've got a screen, and we're gonna say a number on the screen, like Steam Deck Podcast 200, and then it'll be the answer, and I've got to come up with the question, right?
No,
Is that
no.
the deal?
Well, I did it the other way. I just did it the other way. I
See, I
just did
don't
it the
know
other
the
way.
rules. We're good.
So I figured it would be way too hard if I put here's the answer. Figure out the question from here, from community stuff and stuff from the show. So I was like, let's just make it simpler than that. Simpler in that regard. I was just like, it would be way easier. And since this is a celebration of you guys and the history of the show, it's better if you guys know what you're talking about when I ask you the question. You know what I mean?
So it's like elementary school history Jeopardy rules, which I
Pretty much,
because
that's the way
we're
I
about
play.
that smart. We're about as smart as elementary school students. So that works.
So the game is fairly simple. So I'm going to pick a number, and then we'll start the game from whoever picks the right number. And then you will pick a spot on the board. So if you're feeling very confident, you could be like video game trivia 1000. I hit the question. I hit the spot on the board. I ask the question. You'll have 20 seconds, give or take, to respond. And then after you've responded, I'll tell you whether you were right or wrong. If you're right, we move on to the next question. It's the other person's turn. And you get the points. And if you lose, if you get the question wrong, your opponent gets a chance to answer the question. If they get it right, they get the points. If they get it wrong, I just reveal the answer and we move on. At the end of the game, there's something called Final Jeopardy. And once we're there, it is one question. And instead of it having a set total, whatever your total score is, you can bet a certain amount of points, however many you have. You can bet your own. Yeah, you could do the whole thing.
That's scary.
Well, that's the thing is if you're winning, you could not bet anything because the question could be really hard. And then whoever has the most points at the end wins.
It's like Mario Party, though. At the very last second, everything could change. So
Can it be an easy question? If we get to the end and I'm losing, say, can you take pity on me and give me like something really easy?
This guy doesn't want to compete. You see, I come in ready to win.
I need
he's
to
out here
win
like,
something.
Oh, if I'm losing, can you please cheat for me, judges?
Well, listen, I'm gonna be I'll be the judge on the predictions show once we're at that point too. So if you're good, we'll see. Maybe if it's not this one, we'll swing you the next one. Because that marathon.
Whoa, don't make me bring in a new judge. Don't make me get a new impartial judge. You're already
the marathon prediction was too nuts. But I think we should get started.
Right,
how you guys feeling? First off, I want to see Pete's feeling confident. So Pete, talk to me. How you feeling?
I'm always ready to win, Zaid. That's the thing. You know, competitors compete, and the thing is, I've realized that in this competition, there's no way for me to lose because I'll either win and I'll be another champion of the people. I'll be able to bring another honor home to my home country, the United States of America. And if I lose, then that proves that there's another competitor in this league. And
that's what you're looking for.
The best want to play against the best, right? Like I don't want to just clown on
in the World Series with you then, yeah.
Exactly.
You and no other countries, yeah.
Well, I'm Canada. Don't forget, we acknowledge one other country in the world. Don't worry about that.
And Steve, how you feeling?
Before we begin, Zaid, walk us through the board for the audio listeners. What categories have we got to pick from, and like what level of points can we score?
Sure. Yeah. So we did 5. We picked 5 between the three of us. We deliberated and picked 5. Obviously, the 3 main shows, the FlipScreen Games podcast, Nintendo Noise and Steam Deck podcast. These are questions I curated. I'm glad you asked this, Steve. I curated personally. So I've been listening to a lot of Flip Screen Games the last couple of weeks, and just listening for little tidbits of information, and I would just put it down in my notes, and that's what formed the questions and the answers.
Mhm.
And then the last two sections are more community focused. Who done it? Because sometimes who asked it is kind of just not the right way, but who asked it, who said it, is like who asked the question in the Discord or email, or who said this in the Discord. You know what I mean?
Oh
From
my
the
God,
community.
that's gonna be tough.
All right. I'm gonna be completely honest with you though. The video game trivia, this is like next level hard. This is like, I'm not
Cool.
joking. These were all community picked. Like I didn't make any of these questions up because most of the community ones we did for the Google form were, this is the hardest question of all time. And I was like, oh, I gotta put it in.
I really love that the community went out of their way to make it so that neither of us would score any points. Let's go. let's
I
do
will.
it.
I will say this. I will say this for sure. This is not like a spoiler in any way. If either of you guys are able to get 1,000 in video game trivia, I will personally Venmo you $50/50
Let's
Oh,
go.
okay.
All right.
because it is.
I think that
It's
should just be instant win for me. You're not
Get
for
out
Pete,
of here.
'cause,
Stop trying to
he's
cheat
got good
before the
trivia.
game's even started, Steve. You are the worst. Let's go.
I do want to. Last thing is, I do want to establish some ground rules because I have been listening
Okay.
for a while now, and these games can kind of get chaotic. And obviously, we want to maintain some order. You know what I mean? We want to maintain some order.
I guess.
So
Never gonna happen.
your answer must be as accurate as possible. So if I say what was the first Nintendo exclusive to release on the Nintendo Switch, and you say The Legend of Zelda,
Breath of
and
the-
you don't. But if you don't say Breath of the Wild, yeah, if you don't say Breath of the Wild, I'm not giving you the
Steve,
point. You have to
he's
say.
explaining
Okay.
the rules. Don't talk over him. It's supposed to be an easy question.
Would you say that that's an exclusive to that? I guess it's.
Are
not
you
like
kidding me
console
right now,
Nintendo
Steve?
exclusive.
I need you to shut
Anyway,
up so we can start playing the
let's
game.
let's
I
go,
need you to
let's go,
stop.
let's go.
I need you to
Number
stop.
Number two, there will be no interrupting while someone is answering. So if Steve is answering, Pete will stay quiet. If Pete is answering, Steve will be quiet until the answer is complete. Until I give my verdict, chaos can ensue after that.
Can I ask a question, host?
Yes.
If we interrupt the host, can we have points deducted? Because I'd love to start with that right now for Steve.
Yeah, you just did. So that
No,
means
I said I
points
raised
are
my
for you.
hand, Steve. I
He
raised my
raised his
hand.
hand.
Okay. Well, I'm raising my hand. I got a question. If someone fails the question, does the other person get to?
He already
Yeah.
Okay, but
explained
question.
this, Steve. We're going to start playing now. If you didn't listen to the rules, I feel like that's on you.
Yes. You will have
Who's going
one
first?
opportunity. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. I will, and then whichever one of you guys wants to guess first.
8.
5.
All right. I was thinking 9. So
Okay, that's me, baby.
no cheating. I was thinking 9, Steve. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. Don't apologize to
fine.
this monster.
Did you want to go first, Pete? Because I realized when we did the episode with the predictions on Nintendo Noise,
Yeah.
you were at a real disadvantage
I was at a
going
real
first, even though you won the flip, but you were like at a massive disadvantage by going
The
first.
entire time. Yeah, but that's fine. I'll go first for this one.
Okay.
All right, I want to start off fun. We'll go with Flip Screen Games podcast for 200.
All righty. Ready?
Yeah.
You're gonna hear a little ding, so don't be alarmed.
Oh, I love that.
What game won Flip Screen Games Game of the Year for 2022?
Ooh, 2022. That's last year. It's Elden Ring.
That is correct. Elden Ring. Woo!
Let me get them points, baby, up on the board.
And then this is from the episode. I actually went out of my way to add the episode title for nice trivia for the fans.
at you.
Episode title, Game of the Year, revealing Flip Screen Games Game of the Year. So Pete will be Team 1. Steve, you'll be Team 2. That's 200.
Beautiful.
All right.
Okay.
All righty, Steve, you are on the board.
Oh, I'll go Steam Deck podcast for 400.
Oh, bold.
All right.
Bold.
All righty, here we go. What was the first handheld Pete and Steve talked about besides the Steam Deck on the Steam Deck podcast?
Great
Nintendo
question.
Switch, I would guess.
Okay. That's incorrect.
Yeah.
That's incorrect, but
What's
go
the-
ahead, Steve.
Oh,
Go ahead,
oh,
Pete.
right. I get to steal.
Yeah.
So the way you answered that makes me think.
I'll explain after because yeah.
Okay.
We must have spoken about the Switch in the first episode. Like,
I
how
should
does
have.
it
I
feel
should have.
compared to
I
the
should have
Switch?
labeled the question. This is on me. I should have labeled the question as the first PC handheld besides the Steam Deck.
Oh,
That's what the
oh.
question. That's what the question means.
can
Okay.
I have a go at answering that question instead?
Yeah, why don't we let Steve answer that question?
Yeah, and don't worry about the timer. I have a 20-second timer on my phone.
All right, go for it.
I'm gonna guess it's the Iron Neo.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Oh shoot, that's what I was gonna guess. Oh god, I really thought it would be the INEO. Oh god, what's it called?
4,
NVIDIA Shield.
3, incorrect.
Fudge.
What was it? The GPD win?
The Logitech G
The
Cloud.
G
Oh, the
Cloud!
G
Oh
Cloud!
my god!
I forgot
The very
about the
first-
G-Cloud.
Yep. This is. I went back. So technically, the Switch is right. So that's why I answered it all weird. That Switch is right. It is technically a handheld. I should have put in the question PC handheld.
For a
That's what I
second,
meant.
I thought you were gonna be like, oh, it's like Switch Lite or something, and I was like, oh
No,
damn.
no. Alrighty. So no one gets points on that, but you guys see what you're dealing with.
Mhm.
Pete, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna take Steam Deck Podcast for 200.
Okay. What was the main topic on the first episode of the Steam Deck podcast?
Oh my god. Oh,
I told you these were hard.
I should know this. It's my show.
Three,
I can't remember.
Two.
Should you buy a Steam Deck?
incorrect. Steve?
Stand-up podcast, episode 1.
We should be better at this.
Was it impressions, a review and impressions?
No,
Like
this
Pete
is an
gets a Steam Deck.
This is an episode.
That's what he's saying though. Was
Okay.
in that? Did we talk
Yeah,
about?
was that? I have no idea.
Incorrect.
Because we started talking about the Steam Deck on FlipScreen Games podcast
Right.
and then moved to its own
That's-
show.
that's
The
So I
first
had
episode,
no
we're already
idea.
several
Yeah.
episodes into our discussion
Yeah.
about it, so I could not tell you.
Ready to have your minds blown? Because you guys are going to be like, oh, we should have known this. 6 months with the Steam Deck.
Son
was
of
the
a-
first
No, I would have never guessed that. Genuinely would
Episode
have
one-
never guessed that.
episode 1 of the Steam Deck was
That's
titled
so
6
funny.
months with the. Yeah.
Damn.
All righty. So low scoring. We only got 200 points on the board.
Yeah,
Steve,
with
how
the
we
my
feeling?
points, baby. Let's go. Come on, Steve.
I'll go Nintendo noise for 200. I'm not as confident this time around. We'll go for the 200 because these are hard.
Who was ranked
Oh.
first as the hottest Nintendo character when Pete, Steve, Chewy, and
Oh,
Sierra
no.
ranked the hottest Nintendo characters?
I don't remember.
You guys
It was
all-
either a joke and it was Wario or it was an actual really hot character.
I can't remember.
I'm going to say Wario.
incorrect.
Oh god.
It was an actual hot character, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well,
Wario was in the thumbnail. I remember. But I
Yeah,
don't-
that's the thing.
Oh, was it Zelda? No, wait. Was it Ganondorf?
incorrect. It was Bowser.
Bowser. Ah, I was
Oh,
close.
yeah.
Bowser
Yeah.
was unanimously agreed because I was listening to the episode just trying to get anything, and I hear, oh, Bowser? Yeah, everybody S tier, number 1, not even a question. So that's why we put it.
Mm.
I get it. Bowser is a bear. He can sing. He's a good dad. Like
And he's literally hot. He's breathing fire.
he's literally hot.
Yeah.
He's got a dungeon. Come on.
All righty, Pete.
Okay.
This is low scoring, ladies and gents. Low scoring.
Low scoring game. Low scoring game. I'm gonna go with video game trivia for 200. Let's see how this shakes out because it's
This
gonna
one
be
should be. In January 2021, a short squeeze orchestrated by Reddit users caused a skyrocketing of the price of what retail
GameStop.
chain that's not correct.
Oh.
GameStop. This was a community question. They did not put their name in their answer. Unfortunately, no one did, so I can't really credit anybody. So
Oh, come on,
I'm gonna
guys.
guess I'm gonna guess some of these are Asobi because I know he said he posted a load of them.
Yeah.
So thank you for everyone that
Well,
did
shout
write
out to
a
everybody
question.
Yeah.
who wrote in.
Yeah, thank you everybody who wrote in. Because again, wait till we get Bowser for video game trivia. Steve, you're down 400. How you feel? We got 200 left.
All right, let's go up. Let's do FlipScreen Games podcast for 400 then. Let's see if we can get some points.
All right,
See
ready?
if we can tie it up.
What was the first prediction that inspired the FlipScreen Games annual prediction show?
Fuck me.
Oh my god.
The first prediction
These
that
are
inspired the
fantastic
FlipScreen Games
questions,
annual
Zaid.
prediction show. I have no idea. Genuinely no idea. Could not answer that. The first prediction, no idea.
I should be thinking about these while Steve's bombing, huh? First prediction.
Like this was like you guys, like obviously you guys weren't like, oh yeah, we're doing a prediction show. Like this was like an argument you guys had that caused you to do the prediction show for years to come. However long.
Come on, that's got to be 20
okay.
seconds by now.
It's about.
Oh, it is. It is.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say, PlayStation games coming to PC.
Incorrect. You are close, but incorrect.
Son of a gun. Oh,
You weren't
wait,
specific.
no!
Steve predicted that Horizon Forbidden West would come to PC within 12 months. I told you gotta be accurate. You gotta be accurate.
Damn it! I was so close.
You were very close. You were very close.
Tip of the hat for me on that one. Come on, I was so close. But all right.
But that's the one, you guys. So what happened was, I love this story. Is you guys were arguing about Mass Effect again, and then Steve, I almost changed it to 6 months because you were like, "Oh, I'm confident it comes out in 6 months to PC," and you're like, "What?"
He's crazy.
Even hearing it now, almost a year after the games come out or whatever, I'm like, I can't believe he said that. Like, there's no way. It was never.
No, I still stand by that this is going to happen for one of their games. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I really do.
You're kidding yourself.
I mean, we got The Last of Us Part 1 within 6 months.
No,
but I know you said
that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
I know you say it doesn't count, but it does count because it was a brand new game, and they kept saying this is a new game.
Whatever, Steve.
It came out in spectacular fashion, by the way, The Last of Us on Steam.
All right.
By the way.
I'm gonna get the last 200. Let me get who done it.
Wait, no, I think Steve picked the last one. Yeah. 200 for who done it. This is a gimme. Who is the originator of the classic patented 3-question format when submitting questions to FlipScreen Games?
None other than Asobi, of course.
That is
One of our Patreon
correct.
producers. One of the oest of the OGs.
Shout out to Asobi.
Shout out to
Alrighty, so it is 600
on these 200s, Steve.
3 for 5.
Anything higher than 200 is impossible. It's so hard.
We haven't even gotten to 600 yet.
All right, let's go, buddy. Come on, we gotta keep rolling.
I'll do a whodunit for 400.
Alrighty. Who said this comment in response to the June 2023 Nintendo Direct? Even the biggest Nintendo hater has to admit that this was an S-tier Direct. The return of Mario RPG alone is enough to warrant this ranking. Not even to mention Super Mario Wonder, which looks like the best 2D Mario in years. If this is the last year of the Switch, Nintendo is sending it off in a big way.
Pete. I'm sure it's Pete.
Incorrect.
It said who said this comment, Steve? Zaid said this comment.
Oh, the comment. I mean, the problem is I wasn't even on that episode, so I have no clue. I was away on holiday.
Well, it was Zaid. I remember.
Well, I guess since you guessed incorrectly, that is correct. It is Zaid. I made that one. I was like, this is recent. It was in the Discord. Hopefully they both saw
Easy
it. Like,
peasy, yeah.
Come on, Steve. I need something from you here.
I'm sorry.
1,000 to 0.
Feels
All
good,
right.
gang.
All right, Pete. How confident are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, go for 1,001, Pete.
You know what?
Get out of the way.
I will, Steve. Give me who done it for 1,000.
Who asked this question? Do you think Valve has what it takes to become a pioneer in innovative new hardware for future generations and overtake Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony? Or is that just a complete fantasy?
Damn, I can't remember who said this. I remember this conversation vividly, but I can't remember who said the comment. Okay, Stevie Aki.
Incorrect.
I knew that was wrong.
Is it Pilkey?
Incorrect. The answer is Largo Embargo.
Sorry, Largo. That was a good question. I remember that. It was a good episode. I really enjoyed
And that question is really old. Yeah. This question is really old. This is from like maybe March.
Yeah, it's a while.
It's really, really old.
A while back. It was a good episode.
Excuse me for coughing. All righty. No one gets on that. Nobody gets points on that.
All right.
Steve, how you feeling?
I'll go video game trivia for 400.
All right, let's do it.
What was the name of PlayStation's 3D
PlayStation Home?
Correct.
Beautiful.
Yes,
All right, he's on the board. Let's go.
My man.
Yeah, finally.
All
And the
right.
game is now competitive again. All righty, Pete.
Let's keep it rolling. Video game trivia for 6.
Ooh. What is the full name of Valve's president, commonly known as Gaben? This includes his first, middle, and last.
I don't know his middle name. Are you kidding me? It's Gabe Newell. I don't know his middle name. I don't know. That's all I got. Gabe John Newell. I don't know.
Incorrect.
What the hell?
Steve?
Middle name.
Gabe Paul Newell. I have no idea.
Incorrect. So the reason this question was asked and why I picked it is you're supposed to look at the name. If you combine Gabe and this name, you get Gaben. His name is Gabe Logan Newell. So
I always
Gaben.
thought the N was his last name, like Gabe N.
I
That's
think
what
it's-
genuinely what I thought it was.
I think it's that, but it sounds like Logan. Gaben,
All right.
Gaben, Logan.
Fair
you know what I
enough.
mean?
Fair enough.
That was definitely an Asobi question, by the way. I
That
could
was
definitely
way
remember
too
that.
hard. Are you kidding me? I don't know his
Yeah.
middle. I don't know any-
Buddy, we are not at 1,000 yet. You don't even know difficulty.
Steve and I have been friends for like 5 years, and I don't know his middle name off the top of my head, let alone
Do
Gabe
you know?
Newell.
Oh, okay.
I
I
should
don't
have
know
put that in.
anybody's. I've known Sierra for 10 years. I don't know her middle name.
It's plus.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
right.
plus.
Of course.
Alrighty. Let's go. Who picked that one?
That was
Pete
me.
did, so
That was
Steve-
Pete.
yeah. So Steve.
I'll go Nintendo noise for 400.
Alrighty. In the last round of Name That Game, a Mario Party game was one of the answers. Which Mario Party game was it?
Mario Party Superstars.
Incorrect.
Mario Party 2.
Incorrect.
Okay.
The correct answer is Mario Party 6. Episode title, we rank
One of the
every-
best.
The best, I would say. I would say the best.
Well,
You
we'll
know
have to
what?
wait and see. You'll have to tune into this week's Nintendo noise.
Episode
because
100
we're
of
going to
Nintendo
rank
Noise. We are going to do
all
the
of them.
top 100 Nintendo games of all time. So make sure you go tune in.
Mario Party 6 is 17, I'm guessing. Alrighty, Pete. We're
If you get that right, we need to extract that. Like Mario Party 6 is number 17. If it's a bang on 17,
be
because they just had no input in that episode, it will be amazing.
Okay. I'm gonna go video game trivia for 800.
Ooh, nah. This one I know you're not gonna get.
Damn it.
In the original Sid Meier civilization, which leader ironically
Oh, you think I don't know this? I do know this. It's Mahatma Gandhi, baby.
correct?
What's up? Are you kidding? I know everything.
What's Gabe Newell's middle name?
Logan. Bam.
honestly, when I saw that, I was like, this is so oddly specific. I think Steve would know it because I think Steve's played Civ in the past. So I figured Steve
Yeah, I
would
love
get it.
Civ. Yeah,
You
it's
knew
great.
that, right, Steve?
It's weird because it's like strangely out of character for Gandhi.
Yeah, it's a mathematical error where it's supposed to be locked at 0 or whatever, and then it maxes to 999 because of the way that the integer was
Yeah.
put in or whatever. It's very silly.
Alrighty, Steve.
I'll
we
go
feeling?
with Steam Deck podcast for 600.
Steam Deck podcast for 600. For the Steam Deck's first birthday, Valve released a key feature to the system. What was that feature?
Ooh,
His first birthday.
that's a good
day?
question. I can't remember when that was.
I don't think they have. HDR.
Incorrect.
I don't know.
4, 3.
Pass. I don't know. I don't got one.
It's the episode title. Ray tracing.
Ray
Ray tracing comes to
tracing.
Steam Deck for its first
Okay.
birthday.
I love how Steve's like, I'm not sure that happened. It's literally the title of the episode.
Yeah.
So
I remember. Do you know? I don't think it's actually. It came to like one game. I don't think they've put it on anything else yet. They really do need to get.
you guys talked a lot about like you talked about ray tracing a lot that episode.
If the title
So
of the
that's
episode better than Steve, I don't know what to tell you. All right. I'm
What's
gonna-
crazy is like I would have come up with some kind of thumbnail for that as well at some point. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
have
think
no
you would
idea.
remember?
yeah.
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna close it out. Video game trivia for 1,000. Let's do it.
this is where it gets real.
This is where it gets real.
Star Ocean Second Evolution is not only a very good JRPG, but also holds the record for the most endings in a video game. How many unique endings does the game have?
69.
Incorrect.
Okay. Well,
32.
Incorrect. I'm going to give you each one more guess on this one. This one's really hard. So, Pete, go first. You got 10 seconds.
100. I'm so close. He's laughing. Wait, did I get it?
Yes!
Yeah, baby! Yes!
Oh my god.
Yes! You can't teach excellence! Oh! It just happens! It's just nature! It's nurture! I don't know what it is, but I'm the best! Are you kidding me?
Oh, man, that was funny.
God damn, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Mr. Mario Jumpman Mario.
Should not get that. That is.
I'm gonna give
cheating.
I'm gonna give him half the points.
That's fine. I'll take it.
I think you get half because you got a second attempt. I think you lose
fine.
points with every attempt. And the only reason I gave a second attempt is because that one was really hard.
And I just nailed it.
Also that had to be an Asobi question. Like, it's not only a very good video game,
but and then the answer,
it's not only a very good video game, but also
funnily enough, the second most endings is also a Star Ocean game with 87 endings.
Damn,
that would have been
pretty good.
They need to stop. They just like no one's playing it 100 times. Like, come on. No one.
No, so that you can have a different experience, you know? You're like, oh, how did your game end? And it's totally different than mine. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but like...
Is there one definitive ending?
No.
Like, is there
100.
one you want? Wow.
I think that's the point is like usually there's like one true ending and then a bunch of bad endings or non-canon endings you can get. This one, the question was formatted that it's 100 that lead to the same thing, or it all means the same thing, or is of equal value.
All right.
Steve?
Oh god. Let's do Steam Deck podcast for 800. See if I can finally get one of these.
A writer named Andy wrote in suggesting a better place to buy game codes when discussing gray market sites. What was the site he suggested?
Oh god. It was like Game Deals or something.
God.
But yeah,
that
would be my guess. I have no idea.
Can you say it again for me?
Game Deals.
Okay. Pete?
Game Deal? I don't know.
The answer is there any deal.com?
Yeah, I knew it was something like that. I knew it. Yeah.
I was listening and I had a completely different question in mind for this. And then I heard that and I'm like, what is this?
Great
What
one.
is... Because honestly,
it's a good site.
I thought it was spam. Is there any deal.com sounds like clickbait, and it sounds like you're going to get a virus if you go to that website. But yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. All righty. Pete,
Okay.
we're going through this pretty quickly, fellas.
We're doing good. We're doing good. I'm going to take Nintendo noise for 600. I don't think I've answered a Nintendo one.
Which tier did the Virtual Boy get into when Pete, Steve, Sierra, and Max ranked all the Nintendo consoles?
D? Like
Incorrect.
Oh, C.
Incorrect. This one was fun.
Put it as a B?
No.
Nope. You put it as an E.
Oh, it went down to E. Okay, I thought we went S, A, B, C, D.
No, you went S to F, and then someone said F, and then you said no. Steve, you said no. We should put it in E.
We added one for it. Come on.
Yeah.
That's damn. All right, that's funny.
All righty, Steve.
We got a funny podcast, Steve. It's good.
Okay, I'll go FlipScreen Games podcast for 600.
Sounds good. FlipScreen Games is the name that ended up being what you went with, but there was one other name that was mentioned in the 1-year anniversary episode of FlipScreen Games. What was that other name?
I own some of these domains, and they've come up for renewal. One of them was the Cable Club. I remember that specifically. But I can't remember if that's what we went with. But I'll guess the Cable Club.
Incorrect.
92 Classic.
Incorrect. The one that I heard first in the episode was Coin Flip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did think of that.
We had mock-ups for that too. I remember showing. I think I showed the logo for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and you
We had
guys,
mock-ups for Cable Club, but we couldn't get the Twitch
Yeah.
for it, so we abandoned it. We
Cable
messaged
Crew,
them
we
and
almost
we
did
just couldn't
too.
get
There
it.
was a couple.
Yeah.
92
Yeah, so
Classic
that-
I thought was going to be the one because that was another one I remember we had made stuff for.
I like FlipScreen better.
Yeah, it's the best
I like
one.
it.
It worked out.
Me too. Cute little face as well.
Yes, sir.
Took us weeks, but we got a good one.
Yeah.
All right, let me take who said it or who done it for 600. Last 600 on the board.
Who asked this question? It's finals week at my university. Which subjects would you expect Nintendo characters to fail?
I feel like this was trendy, Brendy.
Yeah. I
Let
think
me
so
just,
too.
I'm double checking with my answer guide just to make sure. That is correct.
Yeah, baby.
That is correct.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, it is.
Dude, this is decimation.
I remember trendy
There's no
Brendy
way
going
for me to come back from this.
back to school.
Yeah, no, listen, Steve. If you were to get all of these right,
You
right
could
here,
still
and then
win. It's still
and you
it's-
gotta remember if you have more points on the board and you're like relatively close, you're gambling. You can gamble all that in the next
I
one.
can gamble in
Yeah.
the final one.
Like,
I
you-
forgot about
you
that.
are-
Okay.
you're
Game
still
is
very
not.
much in this.
It is not. I'm just saying it's not looking pretty. It's just. That's all I'm
No,
saying.
it's not.
I haven't
Not
I
looking
haven't
good.
gone for the death blow yet, but it's coming up.
Alrighty, Steve.
I'll go Steam Deck podcast for 1,000. Then let's see if we can get
do
1,000 points.
Max opened up this episode mentioning 3 games that qualified under the Steam sale purchases we've never played category. What was the first game he mentioned?
I was not on this episode, so you.
No, you were. No, you
I
were.
was. Oh, okay.
Yes, both of you guys were.
I
on
don't think I was.
No, you
He
both.
just
You guys
said
were
you
both
were.
on here.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
That's right. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh,
That is
incredible.
crazy. That is so because I said the first game, and
Yeah.
Red Dead 2 is a game that you would just place anywhere in that 3. That is Steve.
That's
Steve.
awesome. You're back. You're back in it, man.
See, now you're
What
back
else
in the
did
game.
do you know what else he said? Like, I
I
genuinely don't remember.
He
But
said Red-
I think that one was there because it was like on sale for the cheapest price.
Like 20
Gotcha.
bucks or something. 20
Yeah.
bucks. All righty. The game is interesting again. It's heating up.
All right, give me who done it for 800.
All right. Pete is focused on these community questions. Who asked this question? If you were purchasing a gaming machine for a kid,
Oh,
do you think the Steam Deck would be a good option?
damn it. Oh, there's like a bunch of dads that have Steam Decks. I don't remember which one it was. Oh. Was this one Stevie? Was this Stevie Aki?
Incorrect. Steve?
Mm,
You have kids, right, Stevie? Maybe I'm wrong.
Right,
Was it Waka
You got a
Hula?
wife. I know that much, but I don't remember if you got
Incorrect.
kids.
Incorrect. It was Jackster.
Jackster.
Oh.
Who'd you guess, Steve?
He guessed
Waka
Waka
Hula.
Hula.
Waka Hula is a dad.
Waka Hula is the dad. We got 4 questions left before the finale,
All right.
folks.
Okay, 4 questions left. Okay.
I'll
do you-
go FlipScreen Games podcast for 800 then.
Ready? Here we go. Pete once claimed this prominent figure in the industry ripped off the wide world of video games part of the FSG intro. Who was this person?
Ripped it off.
I know it.
I'm gonna guess it's Jeff Keighley.
Yes, sir.
Damn it. All right. It's
Creating
getting
every-
interesting. It's getting
This one,
interesting.
the hook with this one was this was last year's Summer Games Fest, and we just finished Summer Games Fest 2023. So I figured,
Yeah,
it might. It's
Good old
interesting.
G3.
Man.
It's getting
It's
interesting.
interesting.
If he gets an
Pete?
800, he'd be in front.
Pete.
All right, give me Nintendo noise for 1,000.
Okay. During the intro of this episode, Pete mentioned how both Steve and Pete created a dessert on the One More Thing leading into this episode of Nintendo Noise. What's the name of that dessert?
Oh, the platinum pie.
Yes, sir!
Yes! Oh my God! Yes!
Jubes.
Took me a minute.
The platinum.
The Platty Jubes. Platinum Jubilee, baby.
A platinum pie. Well
Holy-
done.
Whew,
We got
all
two-
right.
Which, by the way, was way better than the dessert they picked, which was some shitty trifle.
Yeah, this was
And
for
it looked
Bake Off, right?
terrible.
The Great
Yeah.
Bake Off. Yeah.
Steve, if you get both of these, you'll be ahead.
Not good.
He can still
All right,
win
well,
the
I'll
game.
go-
Yeah, of course you can.
I'll go Nintendo noise for 800 then.
Alrighty. Sierra and Chewie had to settle a character's ranking in a game of rock, paper, scissors. Which Nintendo character was this?
Oh my god. And it must
For
have been on the
clarification-
hottest ones.
Yeah, for clarification, it's that episode.
Yeah, it must have been. Rosalina?
Incorrect.
Isabel.
Incorrect. I'm so disappointed in you guys. You guys both said the answer earlier.
No!
It was
Oh, man. Wario.
It was, I think you guys ended up going between B or C for Wario, and then it was rock, paper, scissors.
Of course,
Should have
it
been
was
should have
Wario.
been an S rank. He's hot.
And then we
Yeah.
got one left. Whose turn was it? I think it's Pete. I think it's your
Pete's.
turn.
Mine now, yeah. Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah, FlipScreen games for 1,000. Let's do it.
This Nintendo exclusive was on sale at its lowest price ever during this episode. What game was that, and how much did it cost?
Is it Breath of the Wild at $40?
Oh, so close, so close.
I'm gonna go then. Breath of the Wild for $45.
Incorrect. It was Breath of the Wild and $25.
Oh.
That's so cheap.
I wouldn't have
Yeah.
ever believed
Jesus.
that game was 50% off. I should have guessed that.
I didn't believe it until I heard it when I was listening to this episode.
That's why we talked about it, because it was insane that it was that low.
Exactly.
Ah, man. All right, well, close enough.
All righty. So before we get into the final Jeopardy, we finished the first 30 questions.
Okay,
Let's check it. Let's take a look at our score. It is currently 3,900 to 2,200.
let's go.
Pete has a 1,700 point lead, so he has no incentive to gamble. Steve has to gamble everything to even stand a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Do
How
I
did-
have to gamble everything? I mean, I might as well.
Yeah,
Like,
you
no,
can't win if you
nothing
don't.
Nothing
I mean-
goes wrong if I lose. You
Right.
know?
So when
Does
you
Pete
lose,
not partake in the final Jeopardy then? If he
No,
doesn't
no.
gamble?
he can answer
Duh,
the
I
question, but he just won't get anything for it if he doesn't gamble.
You don't get any
He just-
points. Okay.
So what did you guys think of the first 30 questions? I
Great.
I thought they were,
They were
I
hard.
thought
They were good.
They were hard.
They were
and
hard
I'm
though.
glad that we
Like-
got some of them.
hard in the right ways, right?
Yeah.
Hard in the right way. Like the video game
Mm.
trivia, like that Star Ocean one is like, that's ridiculous. Like, but I was like, all right, what would like
I
a
think
real
because it was a round number, that's why Pete got it. If it had been Star Ocean 1 with like 87, no one would have got that.
No, it was so specific.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I was trying to focus on, like I said, like this is a celebration. So like, let's pick funny moments or funny quotable moments from the show and turn them into a question. I think
I think
think
you
we
did
got
a
a
great
good-
job.
appreciate it. Alrighty, so you guys ready for Final Jeopardy?
I am.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this one, I'm gonna give you guys both a 60-second thing.
Okay.
You guys can conversate with each other. You can conversate to yourselves.
Do we have to? Is the format we're going to see the question and then we get to decide how much?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So I'm gonna give you guys a minute.
Okay.
Right? And then whoever speaks up first, before I say time, after I say time, whoever speaks up first gets to answer it first.
Okay.
So
Okay. So we're
and
gonna
then-
see the
And
question.
we'll say our bet
I get
before
to
we submit
choose.
our answer.
yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
Let's
there's
do
no point you betting anything. You're gonna win even if you don't. You know.
Yeah.
Well, if you bet everything and get it right, and he gets
Then
it
I
wrong,
need to, right.
Yeah, then you win, Steve. You win if he bets nothing and gets it right, and you bet everything.
Yeah, that's valid. Yeah.
And just to make it easier, what I'm going to do is, since I'm going to be looking at both of you, just raise your hand real quick and be like, "I'm ready to answer." Okay. Just
I'm
because
sorry,
to
real
keep
quick,
order
what's the score again? It's 3,900 to what?
to 2,200.
2,200.
39 is 22. Okay.
So you need
Alrighty.
500 points if I gamble everything. So you
Yes.
only got to gamble 250.
Right.
That's it, but that's the tie. If he wants to win, he's got to gamble more.
Yeah, like
If
3.
you-
Yeah.
Yeah, so 50 more points.
It's like
Yeah.
wow, 300 points. You know.
This one, I would be very surprised if either of you answer it, but I think we all talked about it together. So
Okay.
ready?
Let's do it.
What
got-
would you like? So Steve, I think, is gonna risk everything.
I'll do all of it. Just chuck
Oh.
it all on. Like sod it.
Um,
Oh, we don't get to see the question first. You gotta just commit. You know.
I just got to see,
Well, you
like, okay, I don't know why it's not like letting me choose what to do, but I'll do
I
the
think
math.
you
in
just
my
have
head.
to like. Don't you have to like pick?
Well, the thing is if I pick this, it like I don't like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
I-
subtract from it. Why don't we just do the math?
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can you
How
just
much you
like
got?
put 500 in for Pete? I'm gonna bet 2,200.
Okay.
so
I'll bet-
Steve's going for 2,200, and how much are you doing?
and I'll bet 6 so that. Oh wait. Yeah, no, I have to because if he gets it right and I don't, then I'll lose.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
In the first episode of the Persona 5 Royal Game Club, Zayn mentioned he would be switching the costumes up of the Phantom Thieves for every episode. What outfits did he choose for the Phantom Thieves for this episode, episode 1?
To be honest with you, I did not know that this was a thing.
Steve doesn't pay attention even on episodes he's on.
I don't know what the costumes are. Like, I genuinely don't know what the choices would even be at this point.
Like, I will say this. I will say this just to make it easier for you guys. You don't need to say the specific outfit from the game. Like, if you are thereabouts, I'll know enough to give you guys like yes or no.
Okay.
Is it the Shujin Academy, just like the normal one, just like the high school standard outfit for episode 1?
Don't answer.
Like the uniform.
Right, because I got to answer too.
Well, are you submitting that as your official answer? Do you want? I will give you more time. Take the hint.
Okay, so it's not that then.
No, don't give him a hint. No, that's bullshit. He locked that in. Come on.
Right.
That's not going to be my answer. I wouldn't know anything else. Just like that's the standard outfit that they usually have.
Okay. I'm gonna say Persona 3.
So close.
It's 4. It's Persona 4.
It is not. It is. Are you guys want to see the answer?
Yeah.
It is the Persona 5 dancing in starlight outfits.
Oh,
that's why I said, Steve, take the hint, because the outfits of the dancing ones are pretty much the Shujin Academy ones, just with one piece of different clothing for each. So that's why I was like, Steve, take the fucking hint, don't submit it. So,
no, I wouldn't have got it. Well, Pete wouldn't let me, you know. He's like, no, you can't give him a hint, so I was locked in.
I'm sorry, you think you deserve a hint in this competition?
Yeah. You got like an extra go and then an extra.
You would have got an extra guess too.
Guessing 100. You know?
I do. No, to be fair though, I did give you an extra go. I went back for you on one of the questions, Steve, and you still got it wrong.
Also, Steve, if you want to play that game, subtract the 500 points. I still win by 1,000. So
I know.
No, more than that.
Yeah,
He bet everything.
What did you guess, Pete, for this one?
I guessed Persona 3. I was wrong.
Persona 3.
I did Persona 3 in the second episode, and then I did
Persona
Persona 4 in the third episode.
Of them in the Persona 3 costumes.
I thought Steve would get it because Steve edited episode 1. He was the one that did episode 1. I thought he would. Yeah, you'd think.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed it.
All right, so is it time for my acceptance speech now, or?
Oh well, hold on. Let's look at the final score.
Okay, all right.
So you got it wrong. You bet 500. So you're at 600. So you're at 3,300. Steve, big fat 0.
I'm at 0. Nothing. That means I get no money to take home. That's really sad.
Yeah. You get voted off the island. Island. That's like a throwback to life.
I'm off MILF Island. We're going home.
But so how did you guys feel about the game? Give me your overall thoughts. Now we can do the in-depth
really
portion.
Good,
I hope it wasn't too hard. I felt like it was a little too hard. Maybe I'm too nerdy about this.
No, we both did okay. You know, we both ended up with like double digits. It
was good.
They're not double digits.
I mean, you guys each did get 1,000 question right. So that is huge.
Yeah.
I think it was good. If it was any easier, it wouldn't have been exciting. You know.
No.
And it's like, what kind of questions do you ask that make it easy? Like you have to kind of make it hard to make it interesting and fun.
Exactly.
If there's a question you can remember off the top of your head from like specifically like the show focus questions, was there one that was like, all right, oh shit, because I can go back to it and we can deliberate.
There's no way I would have guessed like the first episode of the Steam Deck podcast.
Yeah,
like,
those are really fun.
That was hard.
It was very fun to be like, what was the main topic on this episode, or like those. Yeah, because it's just stuff I don't. You know, I can't remember the order of every episode, of course. It's a lot easier to think about stuff people said or whatever, right? But like stuff we said, forget about it. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel bad that we didn't get many more of the community ones. Like,
if we didn't? Because I feel like I got almost all of them.
No, you didn't. There was like 3 where you didn't get right, and I feel bad for forgetting people's usernames. But you know,
I mean, I feel like I did pretty good. I feel like I got half of them. You know, I mean,
you got like 1 right.
I got a Sobe, Trendy Brendy, and at least one other one, didn't I? I feel like
that was it.
No, you got 2. You got
Brandy.
Well, I was the only one who got any of them right. So
you're the only one that asked any of them.
Whose fault is that?
I was hoping that there would have been more like not to say anything against the community, of course, but I was hoping more like because like I ended up having to go back and listen to everything to get the like.
I
you know,
thought
like
it was, yeah. I think the idea of that category was really going to be, did Pete say this or did Steve say this? But
yeah, or if
either way,
another
I think it was
co-host.
more interesting.
Yeah, and I tried making it so that like, okay, like they know a lot about each other. If I ask a question about Steve, Steve will probably have a better chance of remembering that than Pete does. You know what I mean? Unless it's something like Steve.
You should ask Pete what my middle name is. I think that's what we've learned from this episode.
I'm gonna go with Frederick.
No, it's
I'm
not
gonna go
Frederick. I'm also not going to tell anyone.
I'm gonna go with.
doxing myself.
Okay, never mind. Then I won't say it because if I'm
You
right,
want to talk to anybody?
I don't want to out.
But-
I don't want to out it.
Anything you guys want to close off on?
Yeah, I mean, I wanna give my acceptance speech real quick. I just want to say before, I mean, first of all, thank you to Mr. Zaydid, our gracious host, for putting this all together. It was, I'm sure, a lot of work, and I really appreciate you doing the heavy lifting on it so that we could enjoy the game. So thank you, first and foremost. After that, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Mario Jumpman Mario, my wife, Sarah, and Steve, of course, for continuing to just eat shit so that I can be your champion. So get ready for that medal, all right? We're going to have to get that Olympic medal printed up, and then in another 50 to 100 episodes, Steve, you can come correct, and we'll try this one again.
I think it's gonna have to be an annual thing now. I think we're gonna have to do it on the
Once a year?
anniversary of the FlipScreen Games podcast.
We're printing a lot of
FlipScreen
medals
games
in that
general.
scenario,
Yeah.
Steve.
Well, you
Yeah.
can get them on Amazon.
They could just
You
be
can get
like,
them on
you could just
Amazon.
do them like in the office, make them out of yogurt lids and string. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
you know.
Or maybe we just
Yeah.
make one nice one, and we'll just pass it back and forth.
Or we could
Yeah,
do like
that
a
also
nice
works.
title belt, a championship belt, and you guys ship it back and
So
forth.
we
to each
talked
other.
about that. We talked about that. The
Championship
idea-
belts are too expensive, though.
We thought about making this one a medal because it's like the Olympics and it doesn't happen all the time. It's like every couple
Yeah.
years. But now Steve
That's
wants
fair.
to make it annual. So
Well,
So
if
then-
we don't
so
want to
then
get
it has to
annual,
be-
if we do it every 100 episodes, then fine, then a medal, and I can, stick one on my arcade cabinet next time
you
because
have
I
to,
will
have to
win
win
one
one
at some point
to get the yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
Wow.
I'd
I
be
mean,
interested in
predictions.
having some of the other co-hosts involved on the next time.
Yeah, I'm
around,
happy
see
to
if
kick
Max
their
can
asses
answer
too.
some of the questions. Yeah,
Because I mean,
Would
we
Max
brought
have
Max
guessed
in on the predictions, and Chewy
And
was
he's
on
getting
the-
slaughtered.
bunch of
They're getting
losers.
slaughtered.
You know,
They're
they
getting
got
slaughtered.
nothing. They got nothing.
It's like at least like here's the thing: we each have a distinct identity. We got Pete, who is smart, sensible, goes for the homer picks. There's nothing wrong with that. He's just going for the things that he
I
knows
just
he's going
want
to
to
win.
win. I want to win
Exactly.
the competition that we're having.
But then you get Steve, who is I'm sensible, but let's get a little risky. You know what I mean? Marathon.
just think
he hit
it's
it. He
more
hit it for
fun.
the marathon. I'll give him credit for
Yeah.
that till the day I die. All right, that was incredible. That was an
One of the
incredible
one of the gimme questions I took out was what is considered the wildest prediction ever made, but it was never made like on an. It was always mentioned on each show, so there's
Sure.
not like a specific show I could have put it in, and it's like
Oh.
everybody. I've
there's been a
said it
couple
in,
of the wild ones. I think, like me guessing that Xbox would buy Bungie and then PlayStation buying it was really annoying.
That was
I
so
hated
funny.
that. Yeah.
There was like
it
there was like
week
a
so
later
close
as well.
too.
but wasn't there like a handheld? There was like something where he announced like a console or some piece of hardware, and then it came out like the next year, or like the next month after he predicted which month it was coming out.
Yeah, there's always
Chewy-
always those where we're in the wrong year.
Chewy. It was
got
Chewy.
screwed more than anybody with the Nintendo Noise ones, where we were predicting dates that games would come out.
Yeah,
and he guessed
he
to
got
the
Advance
day
Wars.
the original release date of Advance Wars 1+2 reboot, and then
it
they
got
delayed it
delayed.
indefinitely, which is
Crazy.
insane. But whatever.
Yeah, that was really really sad. That would have been a good question. I think. What was the original Advance Wars release date? Because no one would have guessed that either.
I think that's. I think if we were doing like a general video game trivia, like
Yeah.
that could have been the video game trivia one. Yeah, someone had put that in. Yeah, I just felt bad because I'm like, all right, if I'm curating everything else, we got to get the community involved at some point.
No,
great.
yeah, 100%.
No, you did a great job. I think it was perfect.
So
thank you again.
Steve. Yeah, Steve. Do you have anything that you want to close on?
We're letting the losers talk.
No,
Well, yeah.
I can't. I've already embarrassed myself enough. I don't like this game. I don't like Jeopardy. I don't know why it's a popular TV show.
Hey, it's
This
not
and
that
the Price
popular
is Right
anymore.
rules. I don't like those either. They're
Steve
really
doesn't
annoying.
like games where you have to know information. That's not really good. It's not his skill set.
No, I can't do it. I think I just need chance games.
Wheel of Fortune is the worst one for me. Like a friend of mine competed in Wheel of Fortune and won, And I'm like, what are you playing? You're just saying words. Is the game saying words? That's it? Just saying random gibber
Oh,
jabber?
you just say letters, don't you? Like, oh yeah, I'd like
E,
an A.
F,
You got to pay for the
H.
vowels.
Yeah, you
Look,
do.
Steve, whatever game you want to bring to the table, I'm happy to beat you in it. Okay, you want
Family
to spell
Feud.
stuff.
Let's do it. Let's get
Family
Steve
Feud.
Harvey
We
on.
need teams.
You got multiple co-hosts. There's
And we could
multiple
do a
co-hosts.
feudy game. We could do a feudy game. The problem with that is you
Teamwork.
Well, no, you need to source it from the audience, and I feel like we would really need to get people to write in with a ton of answers, or it would not work.
Yeah.
You know, you need 10 answers for every question. So maybe we try that one next year, and everybody, start cooking them up now.
Yeah,
And-
Savvy says.
I will end on this. First off, thank you guys for having me as the host. It's an honor to be on the show at any point. Get wrecked, Doc. I made hosting duties before you. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Doc. I just want to say to you guys, honestly, like you guys were 100 episodes in, and I've been there since Loot Pots 2018. Pokemon Sword and Shield questions, a game I never bought, a game I never spent money on. So hyped for that game to never spend money on it because my prediction that that was going to be one of the questions too, but that was way too hard. And you guys have been awesome. You guys have been so just like great in terms of receiving receiving crowd reception. You're very good with your community. And honestly, like the biggest thing for me is like I'm doing content creation now in large part because of you guys. Like you guys, like Steve, the tutorials that you started on the channel have been excellent. Like they've shown like that's not my type of content, the stuff I do, but I learn things watching that. I listen to every podcast like religiously because there's always something I know I'm going to get from two guys who have not only done it longer than me, but just have like, they have like a certain way they go about things that I like to integrate into my own workflow. And honestly, it's just been the tips. You guys have just everything. Honestly, you guys have been great. You guys have been amazing. So on behalf of the entire community, I'm sure, thank you for everything that you guys do. As someone who's semi-involved at this point, I know you guys go through hell to get some of the stuff that you guys get out, but for us,
Yeah.
you do it for us, and that's all we can say. And honestly, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
That's really kind of you, Zane.
But-
Thank you so much,
but
buddy. Thanks for being a
before
member of the
you-
community all this time.
Yeah, and before you go, Zabe, where can people find your video?
Oh, thank you. You can find me on YouTube over at Snackugo. I have a video on Eternight, a game that Pete talked about on an episode with Max on the Steam Deck podcast, where
What
he
if
was
Persona
really
was
big into.
hornier? Let's go.
So I talked about that. I talked about Astral Chain recently, and we should be talking about Final Fantasy 16 at some point. So expect something there on the channel at some point. But on Twitter, if anyone's still using that, or Threads, whatever, it's Snackugo.
Get us on
And
Threads, everybody.
yeah, hit us on Threads.
That's where the posters go now.
Oh, funny story of Threads. The voice actress for Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender follows me.
Whoa, that's pretty sick. All right,
Top
that's
five-
very cool, actually.
Shout out to Toph.
She
Shout out to
handed out
Toph.
follow backs because I like, what's up?
No, so what happened was her first thread was, if every Avatar character was a soup, what would they be? A soup, what would they be? I said Cabbage Patch Man would be soup of the day because he's a wild card. You don't know what you're gonna get out of him. Replied and followed.
Good answer. Good answer. I
Yeah.
like that.
So
we're gonna have to
catch
get her. We're gonna have to get her on the show. So
catch the boys on Threads, and yeah.
just on Threads, everybody. FlipScreen Games over on Threads now officially. So go follow us on Threads.
Yes. Anything else, boys?
No, I think that about does it. I'm gonna throw it back to me and Steve in the future. So thank you again,
There it
Zane.
is.
We love you.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you
Catch you
everybody
on the
for
next-
joining us and participating in everything. Thank y'all.